Good morning, folks. Let's hope this connection holds. It's Big Bad Wolf is blowing down the door of New Zealand, and chem bombs blowing inside the windows of these people in this huge sweat as I'm looking over here at Emerald. You guys got some rough times ahead. Some of you guys are going to get one of those once-in-a-lifetime weather events again. The year of the never-ending Guinness Book of World Record rains from Geoengineering. I'm looking here at Teresa Hut Nature Refuge, and it looks like they dumped a bunch of refuge over the top of you, and you have not been even given a chance to refuse this refuge over in this chem-bombed area. You see the geometric home plate look of this one here with the center point with lots of little bomb circles all around it. Is I go to a line of chem which so many of y'all took pictures of today and sent me. Though the single one over New South Wales, I did not get to see an image of that from above. I see plenty of other chem out to indicate definitely the presence of geoengineering here over Binda, ba, and I don't, Binda's getting bent. The Bill Gates logo in the sky, kind of Mercedes. Maybe this one's brought to you. Lewis Hamilton's going to spin some laps up there. I have no idea. All I know is chem bombs suck. Great, and they suck the light out of the sky by blocking it. And the trees need that to grow properly. Maybe your prize garden ain't so prized anymore, but it's the prize to poison a garden that's feeding you. That's an obviousness. Yeah, thick-skinned tomatoes have become the norm. Used to be able to just bite into one. It was so succulent. Now it's like a plastic shell left behind of non-pleasantness when I bite one. Look at this crap here. It's like, yo, G, upside down. You getting the upper GI? My. Look at this crap here. Floating over this newly greened area because of all the past floodings. And, well, you're not getting a flood here. This will do the opposite. This will pull moisture into the air if it's got various salts in it. As we go cruising across the desert, you can't deny that that's a chemtrail line. And you see that shadow over that greenishness? That greenishness is not getting it as photosynthesizations maximized by us. It's quite the opposite. And this fallout, I imagine, is not very healthy for foliage. If it's acidic. Yeah, but who knows, we'll have some acid plants, what we call it the Timothy Leary garden. Who knows? You got to be on acid or something to think this is a good idea. And some people obviously are doing too much DMT. And being sold bad ideas. Hey, Alice Springs, frying much? Bzzz, bzzz, boom, boom. Look at that roundness there. The pulsation. From the wicked glitch herself, Alice Springs, deepest rabbit hole. Or is that Alice? Follow the white rabbit, folks. Follow the right rabbit. Follow the right rabbit, which is yourself. See the dots? Dot. Domino. Boom! And yes, I'm going to show you New Zealand. Is this bad? And in the totals I'm going to show you, expect those numbers to rise a bit because you've got about 36 hours until the tip gets wet. And once that starts, the event is on. And you're going to see an incredible amount of rain in some areas. Your earthquakes rumble in your hills in New Zealand are going to be causes, I believe, of many slips and slides coming your way. So, with all my empathy intact, I will have to use full humor to get through this next part of this forecast. So, right, they're setting you up down here. Enjoy your clear day now, because you have been bombed right here. God knows what came along in this particular line and is deployed. You got the rubber ducky here to float in the tub. Over here, Mount a Gong. Mount a Bong. Mount the gong, Wollongong, plume it on. And yeah, you got boomed and you got plume. I've got all that loaded up for you. Loaded, loaded, loaded. Look at the chem going over Modulation over here. Wow. Would you look at the gilt? Something flew along the line and deployed bombs all along this line. Over Seymour. King Lake National Park. Have some fallout on your fishies for your dishies. Have a scalar square of energy and then bomb the top of it. You zoom out, you can see the square forms of that. If you can't, we'll get you a book of geometric shapes. Maybe you shouldn't have cut geometry class. And that's classic sickness mix. That'll be picked up in some desert sands and will come to visit the nostrils of many creatures. Look at how many of them are here. Wow. That's just not microwave clouds. That's sickness mix. That's a lot of pellets of things that are not designed to be breathed healthily by Mother Nature. But they are designed to do what they're doing now. And I am hearing about a lot of burny eyes, a lot of runny noses, not just in the northern hemisphere where we got pollen season, which is the causation of my snifflings. Something came along in a line here and deployed. Look at the dots. Then when there's the 5, there's the chemtrails, chem bomb release. There once was a sky we all must share and see, and they chem bombed it all for us all to see, and the chemtrails stick and they fell to the ground and things died on the ground. Boom, boom, the chem bomb man poisons the air wherever he can. Here's another rubber ducky, look. The rubber duck is laying an egg. And when the fool shits wear it, my gosh, look at how many deployments you've had here. It's very geometric on the geometry. You zoom in, you get to 5 star. You zoom out, you get to 5. You zoom out, you get to 5. Because there's a particular kind of a rotation and flow. As the chem bombers are booming and a-pluming, and the chem is zooming across the nation, we have to take a right turn, Clyde, and go across the sea. And look how they poisoned this country here. Why Hamilton sings for his freedom. This haze from the sea, this chem bomb mist. Look how wide that one went. Look at the chemtrail here. And then the sea of microwaves. Right there. Straight line microwave popcorn clouds in an interference pattern. But when you zoom in on them, you can see the chemical catalysts have obviously been deployed. You see the geometric formations of them, which I often show in full motion, which we'll do again. And those are chem bombs. Chem bombs in the microwaves. And a beam has shed out from here. It's come up in a curve all the way up to here. See this cloud swath here? This is a beam. And it steps right in here. And I've got it here. Right in here. Right, this is how the storm is going to come in. Right, this beam has set the course. I said once you get about 36, 48 hours in front of this thing, I'll tell you where it's going to go. Right, the beam is shed up from here to the front of this storm. See that line? Right to Blenheim. We had another beam shoot up in a sweat right through Fiji, all the way up. That's a big, 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 big blast that as yet I can't determine its epicenter. I just see its influence on the river of moisture. We have a beam that shed up the coast of New South Wales. See, the sweat is right out here. And all things pointing towards Hobart. Known beam in sped. And if I straighten this line out, where do I go? We go out here to the beginning of another sweat. with your very active Tiger radar network. And I don't care if somebody says it's going in only one direction. I see evidence otherwise. It won't give as strong a signal in the other direction, won't you be honest? I could pulse that array sideways. It's all modulation. So there's your path in. She will come in. She'll hit this side here. She can't go any further. She's going to ride that right on in. It's in a little right here. It's coming like that. Just gonna hook the corner. It's gonna stall when it gets here, as this comes over in this swath like a wiper arm. So if the bottom of the wiper was here and the tap was here, you turned it in, it's gonna sweep like that as it comes across. And this one here is gonna be, as it comes through, is about to kick that moisture up and around into a corridor right here. And until this high over here moles, she ain't going nowhere. She parks for a few days. I want the moisture that it's bringing and gathering here from Fiji is going to be devastating. This is a huge amount of water up here. If you don't take this seriously and you want to laugh off my forecasts and all this, that is your prerogative. Beamline there, beamline there. She comes in over the tapping in. The curveball. I'm very interested what a Frying Pine Island is going to do. So now let's have a look at some of the moving imagery I have. Right, we get big streamers of crap just streaming over the beautiful greenness of this North Island. No longer going to get the greenness that it needs fully because the sunshine is black and the flowers will go wilty. This is falling out on you guys. How's your breathing doing? This isn't going to allow molds to dry out. There's perfect conditions for growing mold in this country right now, as it's trying to dry out from previous floods. I'm going to fix a little of that crookedness. I'll do the best I can with this. The can. Boom, 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 plum, plum, boom, 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 plum, plum, pluming up a storm that's gonna fuck up people's lives. Boom, 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 plum, plum, boom, 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 boom. The can's over here. Boom, 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 plum. You never know where I'm gonna go next. Boom, 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 plum. Fucking up your day each night. That's right, they're fucking up your day even at night. Because it's daytime. It's nighttime there, it's nighttime, it's daytime here. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I'm worried about my Wanoa down there, and I come on and I look at my Mother Earth being treated like this. Disgustified by the shenaniganizers. They keep asking you to vote them in so they can shenaniganize more with their corporate buddies, frolicking a Christ, the future of the world, Kim bombing the fuck out of all these poor folks over here over in the Darwin area. It wasn't bad enough you need to dry out from all that crap you've had recently? Oh no sunny day for you, Mac. Pow, pop on the fryer, pop off the bombs, pop away your future, how fucking dare you. Look at this big line of sturdy Sanchez crap off the coast here above a big fryer. It'll get a little darker because the sun is setting. This is a different image than I normally would use, but look at that bomb going off down here. And draw your attention here. 30, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes. It is just bombed off. Little bombs keep going off in the center of it. As the sun sets, the chem bombs fly. They're not just managing the sunshine, okay? There's moonlight management going on too. They could kiss the moon of Mars itself that looked like an ass. Why don't you show me another picture of a planet named Pluto that looked like Disney's Pluto? It might be more believable. And as I show you the stuff on Worldview, you could see it streaming across you today. You got absolutely smashed. The Absol Smash sandwich is on for you, because you absolutely can be smashed. Boom, 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 plum, 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 plum for you. See the microwave burst coming up toward it? Here at the end on this line. Bzzz. getting fried, Australia style. Welcome to Australia, where the campamps are for free for you to breathe in this corridor of shame. You can't put a mask on the planet and hide it. Right, and you can't pollute the skies without me seeing it with my eyes. Look at that boom right there in the center. Boom, pluming up. Just the center point of the emanation of whole lots of little mini explosions like the orgasm giver. How many vibrations does it take to make Mother Earth come your way? I think far too many have been deployed over the top. Far too many trees didn't get their sunshine today because of an action of a philanthropic corporation that is not known for empathy. They're not called empathetic corporations, are they? Parasitic corporations is more what they're usually known as, because a corpo is dead. It has no feeling. Nah, this is disgusting. And they're fueling the demise of these folks. See that arc line there and that arc line here? High earthquake risk in this area right over here. Just from what I'm seeing on the clouds here. See the squares here, 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 here. Definitely about there. What that triangle is right here of energy. That shockwave's going to move out from that. We'll see what it looks like in motion. See, that's just a line of energy. It's microwaves. It's not a mountain range out at sea, okay? It's not a wave just standing up in the middle of the ocean just all the time. All the mer people are just waving. No, that's his energization. That's his microwave beaming. This is owning a storm, and that will induce earthquakes in an area right now that's already shaking. Microwaves fully holding in place the moisture over here in the flows, so they have to come around. They have to come around that heated area. It must be really high in the atmosphere that's streaming over. Boy, is that adding a lot of electrical potential in the form of free ions in the atmosphere. You are in for a hell of a ride. So let's have a look at what you can expect. If your weather had a theme song, it would just be needed. It would be one instrument. It would just go wah, 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 wah. The muffled trumpet. As we go into Friday, here it comes, here it comes. Get some action for the corner down here. It's in around Sydney area, starting in about. Well, I think Voldemort's going to say begin here in about 18 hours. And it's going to last a bit. It's going to sweep across. New South Wales is going to get it soaking. The gardens are going to get fuller right now. If your water tanks that are needing some water are going to have some. And about that moment there, she's going to kiss New Zealand. It's right about here. It's about 36 hours from now. Maybe 35, because it took me a while to do all my determinings. I wanted to be sure. It is going to fairly much do that. And a little bit more to the west, that eye's going to go. He's going to kiss, but it can't kiss too much with that center being right there. It'll drag the storm right in. And that beam said so. Right? What the beam says goes. Now it's going on to the line where it's wanting to go that way, and it has the ability to curve in that way, because it'll be riding that heated outflow line that was created by Blenheim's microwave stations. The Frere was on. The waveforms had done your job. And now the chem is going to do its job. And you guys are going to stay safe. You're going to batten down the hatches. The winds to be expected will not be of tropical cyclone strength. There'll be high gale strength in some places. But all in all, that is a good news to have. Watch your tide tables along this line here, because the water that's trying to flow out has nowhere to go under certain situations, high tide and high winds. And after it gets to the south of this, she can come that way, because you got a big heated up microwave line. Yeah, they've well mapped that out. That's well shown out here. Well shown where it's going to go. In, ride, down, and over. And it hits that line here. She's free to ride. because that beam is sweeping. Okay, so you gotta keep all that in mind. Yep, so just calm your farms. You know it's gonna go on. Alright, so just be you, be free, be oneness, because you can't control some things, and this is one of them. And it's a long sustained event. And Tuesday, as the storm walks across, is going to be another very dangerous time for New Zealand, because that other tendril has finally been allowed to move from the Tasman Sea over the top of you. And it's packing your second wall. But that one, very fortunately, should... Oh no. Dang. Hang on, they've changed the dynamic. They're going to hold that tendril over the top of you. There's nowhere for the high to go. So that's going to be a 3-day wet. Yep, definitely. You got a 3-day wet coming. That's not moist, man. We're talking wet. So you'll be full on. I told you, you was going to see 0.5 meter of rain over that way. And I was laughed at for that guess. Well, go, you want to see what they're saying? You're going to long sustained period here. Where that high, until it goes, you're fucked. Yeah, that low coming over, bringing another day's worth of dynamics for rain again. Welcome to the shaggy season for New Zealand. The monsoon is coming too soon, too often. The monsoon season is on. And with rain totals to be expected in the catastrophic area. When I look around the entire world today, I've only seen one other place affected just as bad as you guys, is the southern parts of Japan's down here. But none of them have as high totals as I'm about to show you down here. We'll go Wakatani. I mean, these are showing nearly 3/4 of a meter of rain hitting you on the 10s. And I'm in full agreement with it. Expect them totals to rise because you got 2 days of netting. And you got a strand directed over the top of you. You are about to see April showers turn into needing to have a Mayflower to float on, like the Pilgrims used to do the crescent. 5s, 10s, down south, not much better. You poor folks. How do you not feel this? Expect that total to rise. The whole tendril's coming right down over the top like this. You have a lot of moisture right off the shore, easily moved in. You have an obvious geoengineered move when you see this should flow normally, just right along. And this diversion like this is man-made. This takes the flow like that. My God, look what they can do. As they move it moisture from one side of Antarctica to the other and out into the great Australian bight out here, bringing up all this cold and that low pressure with it, because cold has a lower pressure than hot. All right, Coast Road. And your totals are sooner. You're more eminently to get fronted, where you got 24 hours along this line to prepare. After an inundation, and it's going to come hard, heavy, and often. You want to have a terrible lightning show. I'm not fully agreeing with these totals, so I'm just going to tell you what I think. Yeah, some of them places going to get 15 centimeters of rain. As Sydney, say you ain't getting shit. That means you're going to either have a great big ass beam or they're lying to you. Because I don't see how. But that's always good news. But you know, when you get that much rain, 7 to 8 centimeters of rain come within about 2-day period of time, it's a problem. You're going to be flooding out through here, Sydney. So pull your stuff down up into the air on those low-lying areas that had problems last time, because the thicker falls are going to be more toward the south of the city. And Wollongong get a gun. Yeah, they ain't forget about you at all. And these totals are disgusting to see. Yeah, there's 10 centimeters of rain coming to visit you, to 12 to... My God, and the further south you go on this corridor, the worse. Tassie dodges the bullet. But on the 10s, nope. Another storm gets worked to Chris. Are you used to it by now? Oh, that's just another thing I'm watching. We will not be watching Succession, where you hear up the... It's like New Dallas. This storm, while it's up here, is absolutely raging. You hear the winds in it now. When it's out here, this one will scare you. It'll have all that look of a super raging storm. But it ain't going to have the accurate winds to tell you that. Unless they go up like super high in the atmosphere, say like up here. And you'll see some fucking wind. You know, how high up do you want to go to find it? There it is. Oh, God. Oh, 100 mile an hour wind. Right? How high up do you want to go to get that wind? You know, right over here, over the top of Australia, really high up, you got 115 mile an hour wind. But on the ground, you don't. Yeah, I say you could cook a statistic. You know, how fast is that upper level chem coming towards you? It's moving at 118 miles an hour across the nation. How do I accurately know when things are going to be moving and how long they're going to take? Yeah, it's just math and information. You know, take it down. We're up at where they normally would measure a storm is at 10,000 feet. Around 3,000 meters, by the way. And then you subtract 10% for ground drag. So as it gets up on Burke Pine's going to do something. And I kind of know what it is. I'm expecting a half fan beam behind it, like this. The fan is on the top and not over here. It'll do the fan. Yeah, the peacock tail. It'll come on out and get peacocked. Peacock. Make it caca weather. Yeah, you guys are in for the shits. You definitely are. And you ain't gonna get out so lightly as this comes across there, either New South Wales and Queensland. You know, that could be a crop destroyer. The poor winter lettuce will be wilty, but perfect conditions for slugs. And it's time to vote those slugs out, isn't it? Why not vote at all? Let the whole machine go, no. The law says you get fined if you don't vote. What is somebody worth voting for? Or do what we ask for when we do vote for you, instead of lying to us like a bunch of lying sexist shit, bringing chemtrail after chemtrail to us, but two of those dance over the top of the other, and the second one whammos you. By your technicality, that storm's gone. Here's the next one right fucking behind it. You can't time these tendrils anymore. This one got hit from Australia. That one had come down here, finally leaves, and a new one comes from the tropics to hit the North Island for a long inundation. And when those two meet there, fuckery is going to happen. It happened, and it's going to be a bad day. That's a day of tornadic activity, and when those two masses meet, there's also going to be a quake risk because of the impetus of the energy of the two will also go into the mantle, and as well as the sky. It is a waveform. And well, these EMF waveforms that are blasted storms over the top of New Zealand have got to cease. That's all I got to say for today. Big love. Peace.